What is going on, guys, and welcome back to Zero Pulse Gaming Channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you a little bit of a tutorial on a build order. Now this build order is Zerg specific, and it's actually called the 19 drone all-in. The first time I saw this build was actually from a Grandmaster Zerg player. His name was Railgan. I really liked it. It was meant for ZvP, but I've also been using it for ZvT also. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'll show you two replays, and I'll show you a ZvP and a ZvT, and then I'll go through the build with you. So let's get started here. I'll show you the Protoss one first. Now, the Protoss that I played, he was a Platinum player, and the Terran that I played, he was a Diamond player. So let's get started here. Let's go to my production tab. We're going to keep it at regular pace. So what I'm doing here is at 13, I'm going to start building my Overlord. Once I'm at 14 out of 14, I'm going to save up enough minerals to then put one of my drones into an Extractor, queue up another one, and then cancel that. So this is how I can get 15 out of 14. It's the Extractor trick. Once my Overlord pops, I'm going to be queuing up two more drones. I'm going to get up to 17. That's like my main goal there. So once I hit 17, I'm going to queue up an Extractor. I'm not going to cancel it this time. Once I get back up to 17 again, I'm going to be saving up for 200 minerals. And then I'm going to be dropping my spawning pool. As you can see here, so the only two buildings that I got so far is my Extractor and my spawning pool. And now, as soon as my Extractor is done finishing, I'm going to be grabbing 3 of my workers and putting them in there. The next thing I'm going to be saving for is it's a hatchery. So as you can see, around 200 minerals I like to pull my worker and have him go down to my natural. Okay, so I got my Extractor, I got my spawning pool, I got my hatchery. I'm still at 17 supply. So what I'm going to do now is drone up to 19. Once I'm at 19, I'm going to stop drone production, and then I'm going to try to get my queen out, 1 pair of Zergs, and 2 Overlords. So my spawning pool is done. I queued up my queen. Now I got my Zerglings going right now. Now you want to try to get your link speed as fast as possible with this. The importance of the link speed with this build is how fast your reinforcements can come there, because you're not going to be building roaches during this. Once you get your 8 roaches, you stop, and then all you're going to be doing is producing Lings, and then you're going to be flooding into your opponent's base. So we got 1 Overlord going there. We have our Overlord speed. We have our Ling speed going. Now, as soon as my 2 Overlords are done, my queen is out, my Lings are out, and I have my Ling speed. My next 150 minerals, I'm going to be building a Roach Warren. Now, I'm not going to be building anything else, I think, except for 1 more pair of Lings, because I had 3 larvae at a base, and I didn't want them going to waste. I'm going to be saving up my larvae now for the completion of my Roach Warren. If we stop here for a second, I'm fully saturated on my main base. I already have my production builder, which is my spawning pool. I have 1 of my gases going. I have my Roach Warren, so that's going to be like my my attacking unit building. And I even have a little bit of expansion, even though I'm not mining on it. What my opponent has is, he has a natural with no workers, and he has a fully saturated base, including 2 gases. But what does he really have in his base? He has 2 gateways, and 2 pylons, it looks like, and a cybernetic score. So he looked like he was going the Stargate route, and honestly that was perfectly fine. I knew he was proxying me on the bottom, because I spotted it with 1 of my Overlords as we were running by, and I even had spotted, as you can see, his probe. His probe came in late. If you see a probe going around the map and it's a little bit it's off position, like it's off to the sides here or something like that, and you happen to run into them, be prepared for a proxy. Something, it's going to be coming eventually. So, from my vision here, I had seen his probe coming from the left side here. Let's keep going. He was going to try to proxy Stargate me and Oracle harass, but this is where things kind of went bad for him. So back to my base here. So my Roach Warren finished up. I have 8 roaches coming out. I have my queen. Do not miss your injects. Your injects are very important for this build. If you start missing injects, it's not, you're going to start falling behind in the larva count. So as soon as it's done, I have another inject going, and as soon as these roaches are complete, what I'm doing is sending them right over to my opponent's base. Like just to the outside, I'm rallying them together. Because there's no point for them to be sitting in my base, because this is an all-in, this is a rush. Now, as you can see, he has the Oracle going, and the Oracles can't really do much. Because what's he going to do? He's going to go after my main base. I already have an entire army in at his main base. So, it looked like he wanted to build up for 2, but around the 4-minute mark is when we're going to be hitting. Another thing, on your way over to your opponent's base, you're going to want to try to turn 1 or 2 of your roaches, depending on the distance you have to travel and how much gas you've saved, into Ravagers. The big reasoning behind why you want the Ravagers is to drop Corrosive Bile. Corrosive Bile is going to be what's going to help you break through the wall. But another little trick is, what I've learned is, if you move your Overlord a little bit closer to the top of the ramp here, keep it out of range of getting sniped off, but if you keep your Ravagers on the bottom here, you can actually just drop Corrosive Bile and break that wall. Now what my opponent was doing here was he's attacking his own pylon. The reasoning for this is because he was expecting a Ling rush all in. So he actually completely walled off his base, which it was pretty smart because his natural was in this, was already, he had a pocket natural. So it wasn't too bad. But as you can see, really bad timing on his part. I'm pretty sure that he thought I was like map hacking at this point. So see how my Overlord's coming into view there? And then I realized his pylon had no life as it is, and I just pushed all the way in there. Now he's panicking, he's bringing his oracles in from the bottom here. Remember, those oracles that he used, they did absolutely nothing. He proxied, and now he's sending them back to his base. He would have been better off if he actually built them in his base somewhere, that way they're a little bit closer. So let's keep going here. When you're attacking a Protoss, try to get rid of these pylons as fast as you can. Because the pylons are the things that can charge all the buildings and can be overcharged. Now he just said, I think he got a little upset and he just left. But with the Protosses, once you take down those pylons, none of these buildings that were getting powered by the pylon that you destroyed will even work. So what I did here was I went after the first one here, second one here, and I shut down all his production and all his research. But that's the 19 drone all in. So what you're doing is 13 Overlord, 17 Extractor, then you're going to be going 17 Spawning Pool, 17 Hatch, 19 Queen, 19 Zergs. You're going to be making one batch of them, which will be 2 of them. Then you're going to go for the Metabolic Boost, then your Roach Warren, and then your 2 Overlords. And then from that point, you're going to get up to 8 Roaches. Once you have your 8 Roaches, all you're going to be doing at that point is building Lings and keeping an eye on your supply tab. And whenever you get close to your cap, you're just producing 1 or 2 more Overlords. Don't go crazy and produce 3 or 4. You do not need it. You will not be hitting 150, 200 cap. Now, that was a ZvP. I'm going to go and show you how this works in ZvT. The Protoss player, he was doing some funny things. He wasn't, I don't want to discredit anybody, he wasn't that good. He wasn't expecting it, and he didn't really react too well to it. Let's just leave it at that. But I'll show you a diamond player who I played this against, and I actually got worried during it. So We will go back to our production tab. Now, I later found out this gentleman was Diamond 2. I know he actually whispered me afterwards, and I told him good game, well played, and stuff. So he was a good sport about it. So I did the same thing here. At 13, I started producing my Overlord, and then I did my Extractor trick. I produced one more drone. I made a little bit of a mistake there, so let's build that Extractor twice. Now what I'm doing with these Overlords though is I'm sending them over to just outside of his natural, because what I want to see here is he expanding? Is he expanding, or is he going for a cheesy all-in? And then what I'm going to do with the next one is get one around the third, because just in case the rush fails or the all-in's failing and I have to kind of switch up and start doing something else, I'm going to dive one Overlord completely into his base, and I want to see what's going on. So nothing out of the ordinary here. So we got our spawning pool going down, and against Terran, I like to put the spawning pool between the minerals and the edge of the base if you can. This way, if the Reaper comes in, the Reaper cannot just keep running around. If the Reaper comes in through the side here, and you have your queen positioned in your mineral line, what would happen is your queen's actually going to pick him off, and the only way he can go is either towards your queen or the long way around. So that's something to keep in mind. So what we're doing here now is getting our two Overlords. We have our Roach speed going. Our Lings speed going. We have our Roach Warren. Now, I got my hatch going. The big thing that you're going to have to be paying attention to when you're facing Terran and you're trying this, there's a couple things that could really ruin this strategy. If he rushes out spider mines, then give up and transition to something else. Because if he starts getting 2 or 3 spider mines out at his base, and I've actually faced this and I've lost to it, abandon him, because you're going to lose all your units. It is better just to bring all your units back, start droning up hard, or even what you could do is containing him and try to take out his natural. Now, I'm getting these units going. I have my 8 roaches already producing, and look at the time. I'm at just before 3:30, and my roaches are all done. Remember, keep your injects going. We're going to look at what does our opponent have. So I'm sitting at 8 roaches. Sorry about that. 8 roaches, 8 lings. He's sitting at 5 marines and 1 reaper. This reaper's about to get a rude awakening. So I had made the mistake here because I was trying to cut off that reaper with those links so he didn't see this massive incoming. How did he react to it? So he pocketed all his Terran for some reason down here. What he could have done is put all of his marines up here and raise his bunkers. Raise his supply depot. Sorry about that. So sometimes you don't have to use this as an all-in. What I did on this one was I just tried to stop his production off of 2 bases, and I'm going to hurt his economy. So I forced that command center to go away. I saw there was an opening. Let me try to rewind it there a little bit, because this was a big mistake on his part, and I countered on it. So after he picks up this that command center, let's just get to that point. I'm going to go to my vision. Now, as my units move closer, I'm trying to poke up the ramp, and I see the supply depots down. As soon as I saw the supply depots down, what I was doing was just flooding right in there. Because as soon as I can get in, and I can start clearing out all these marines, it's game over. And as you can see, I have a constant stream of Lings coming in. He pulls off his workers. I have my corrosive biles taking them out too. Prioritize Marines over SCVs. Now look what he did here. He answered correctly to this. He was doing the spider mines. They were just a little late, and I think he gave up at this point. And he didn't even try to. He didn't try to burrow this unit. If he had burrowed that spider mine right there, what I would have done is pulled all these units away. I would have cleared out this entire base here. I would have gone back to my base. I would have transitioned into a lair. I would have got my my overseer going. I'd bring my overseer close by, and then we would just take care of that. I don't have any stealth detection units, and yes, I have faced Terran who they have like 1 or 2 buildings remaining, and they have 4 or 5 spider mines surrounding it. I have no detection, and it's just kind of a pain. You can pop 1 or 2 Lings at him at a time and kind of make him waste it, but if he burrowed right here, that is the units where that is the path where all of my units are coming into his base. So 1 shot from that would have cleared all of these Lings. Wouldn't have made a difference, but okay. Now that was a 19 drone all in against ZvT and ZvP. I'm gonna walk you through it. I'm gonna be playing a custom game against the computer, nothing crazy. So where are we going here? Yeah, they changed the screen just a little bit. Right. Now, this, I have tried to adapt this for ZvZ. I don't recommend this for ZvZ. I've lost 90% of the games that I've tried it. I've tried different ways. I've tried to block ramps. My opinion, just I wouldn't do it. Let's start the game up here. This is strong against ZvP. ZvT, I'm going to keep using it until I hit a wall where I cannot win anymore against it. With the ZvT, you're going to have to be a lot more dead on with your corrosive biles, because they always are going to be blocking off the ramp with supply depots, and you might not get that lucky like I did on that one and get like an easy walk into the base. So I'm sending my Overlord near his second base here. I'm saving up my minerals at this point to get my Overlord. Oop. That was no good. Got my Overlord going. Sorry guys, it's a new thing for me to talking and playing at the same time. It's a different experience. So, we queue up our worker, we did the extractor trick. Now, I am bringing my Overlord around to his second base there. And I'm keeping it pretty simple. So 13 Overlord, and then I'm doing the extractor trick, and then I'm getting 17 extractor, saving up my minerals. I'm going to be getting 17 spawning pool. Let's see if I can squeeze it behind here. Yes, I can. And now this guy is going to be my 17 hatch. As soon as my extractor is done, I'm going to be getting as many units as I can into there. Remember, don't produce any more workers until you can get your hatch down. It's very important. Okay, hatch is down then. I can queue up more workers. Now, something you might notice is I have a pocket expansion here. Why did I go to this one? This one's going to be closer to my enemy's base once the larva starts popping and I need reinforcements to start coming in. That's the only reason. Over here, they would have to walk this entire path here. Here, they're just walking straight. So, as soon as my spawning pool is done, I get my queen. I get a pair of my Lings. Make sure you queue your second hatch to your base there. I'll be getting my metabolic speed. Right now, I'm going to be saving up to get my Overlords going. Okay. Now, what these Overlords doing, with the positioning I'm trying to get them, is routes that they're going to be using to attack me. So, if you have an attack incoming, you spawning it when it's near their base is very important. So if I'm spawning an attack coming in from all the way down here, I have this entire route here to be able to react to it. So, what I then do is I'm going to be bringing my queen down to my natural, because me injecting my natural will get more larvae here. I'll get more larvae on my natural down here, and I'll actually be able to reinforce faster. I'm just waiting for the Roach Warren to finish up. There we go. And one full row is of 8 units. So that's a nice way to keep tabs on it. Now I'm sending them down. So as soon as they're going to pop, now what's going to happen is they're going to go straight over to my opponent's base. I'm not really doing anything else fancy. I'm keeping an eye on my supply tab. I have an Overlord queued up right now, and I'm going to send him down to the corner just in case they do like a random base, like in the corners, just in case of a rush or anything like that. So, I got enough space. I'm going to be queuing up some more Lings. Try to take care of this little probe. And always keep an eye for whenever you have more larvae coming out. I queued up another Overlord there. Okay, let's see. And here's where a little trick comes into play. So what I'm going to be doing here, is actually moving my Overlord just in sight of this ramp. Now you gotta pretend if it's being walled off or anything like that. So, and now all we're doing at this point is continuously flooding in units. Moving so all your Lings can get in there. That's all you have to keep doing. So once I'm in here now, I'm going to be trying to take out all of his pylons. Are going to be my first priority. I know this is only a computer, it's only on medium, so it's nothing too difficult. Not too bad. And now, say for example, this push didn't go too well. Well, what I could do is start queuing up a bunch of workers, and I'm going to start transitioning. What I've transitioned before, but he gave up already. I'm going to hold off a little. What I've transitioned to before is Roachling Hydra. But the big thing with this push is you have to contain them. Like, you have to do enough economical damage that they're so far behind. It's a guaranteed win. They're going to give you a little bit of a fight still. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But you're hitting, if your timing's done correctly, I made a couple mistakes there, but if your timing's done right, you should be attacking at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. You should be moving towards your base at the 4-minute mark. And you're going to be hitting with 8 Roaches and probably somewhere around 12 Lings, depending on how your timing's going. Now I'm going to have a link to this build down in the description of the video. You notice you don't have to have crazy APM. I'm playing a lot slower, trying to explain and talk. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And take this build and let me know how you do with it. Let me know if you're having success with it, if you're having any problems, if there's something else you'd like explained. And this build, if you can hammer it down, it can take you from the Bronze League up to the Platinum League. I'm confident in, because I'm still using in the Platinum League. And I'll keep an update whenever I hit a wall on it. But besides that, guys, have yourselves a good day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for the video. Have a good one. Peace.